I stopped investing regularly at age 32, and I'm still on track to retire with over $2.8 million by retirement age. Now, most people think you need to invest every single month for the rest of your life to actually hit retirement, and it's simply not true. I stopped about 7 years ago, and running the updated numbers, I'm actually on track toward almost a $3 million retirement at this point. That is the concept of Coast Fire. And today I want to break down what Coast Fire is and how much you need to invest to get there. And I want to make this realistic as possible. So I'm going to break it down in a few different scenarios where you could hit Coast Fire by age 30, by age 40, and by age 50 through regular monthly investments. And I'm going to show you a little cheat sheet on how much you need to invest per month to get there so you know exactly what you need to do. And if you stay to the end of this video, I just want to share with you the calculator that I used to come up with all of these numbers, and you can download a copy for free. So stay tuned. So what exactly is Coast Fire? Well, Coast Fire is just the concept of investing enough that if you stop investing altogether, your money will still grow to have enough to retire on by regular retirement age. So for me, at age 32, I had a little over $100,000 invested in my retirement accounts. And if I just let that grow with the stock market at a regular 10% return, I'll have $2.8 million by the time I retire. Now, the thing I love about Coast Fire is it freed me up to not have to worry about my financial future. I already invested enough. It's going to grow. I'm going to have multiple millions of dollars by retirement. So now I can focus my efforts and my money on things that are more immediate. Like for me, it was quitting my job and traveling in an RV around the country with my family. I bought time back with my family. I was able to start a job and move us across the country and do some insane things for a couple of years. And I loved that freedom that it gave me. For you, it might be other priorities. You might take a sabbatical from work. Maybe you just want to change jobs to a lower paying job or go down to part-time just to have the bills paid. But Coast Fire to me is much more freeing than heads down saving half your income for 20 years and trying to, retire a decade earlier. Now, you can still pursue that with Coast Fire, but this is just one of the milestones along the way to financial independence. All right, so we're going to run through the calculations of how to hit Coast Fire by age 30, 40, and 50. But here are the assumptions that I'm running under. Number one, we're just going to set retirement age for 65. Now, retirement is, technically 67 because that's when you can start drawing your full Social Security amounts, but who wants to work that long? Let's say 65 is where you're trying to get to. We're also going to assume average stock market returns. You're going to be putting money into a total stock market or S&P 500 index fund, and we're just going to get regular stock market growth. That's about 10%. Now remember, this is not inflation adjusted, so if you want to use a number more like 8%, you can. And again, if you stay to the end of the video, I'll show you how to grab a copy of my calculator, and then you can put in the 8% number for your calculations. But I'm going to be using 10% because that's what the market has averaged and continues to do so. And then we're going to be investing sort of aggressively for a 10 to 15 year period, and then you're going to stop. So for example, if we're investing and trying to hit Coast Fire by age 30, we're going to assume you're starting at age 20. You've got about 10 years of runway to get there. If you're a little bit older, let's say you want to hit Coast Fire by age 40, we're going to assume you're age 30. And again, you have 10 years. If you are starting a little later in the game, let's say you're age 35, we're going to run the assumption that you want to be Coast Fire by age 50. So we're going to give you about 15 years of runway. So when I break down each of these examples, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and how you can get there. So those are the assumptions that we're going to run under. All right, so Coast Fire by age 30. This is the concept of starting early and then stopping early. This is sort of the approach that I took. But if you want to hit Coast Fire by age 30 and you want $1 million in your retirement account, you only need to invest about $175 a month. Actually, the exact numbers run $173.71 per month for 10 years. So if you start at age 20, here's sort of the example in my head of you just get out of college, or you just start working a job and you're able to automate away $175 automatically from your checking account into, let's say, a Roth IRA. That money will grow tax-free, and it's tax-free in retirement. That's why I love the Roth IRA. But if you just set up that automation, a recurring investment of $175 per month, then you stop at age 30, you'll have a little over $20,000 invested. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but because you have 35 years of compounding ahead of you from age 30 to age 65, that money will grow into $1 million portfolio by the time you retire. Now, You might think, okay, that's a long ways away. $1 million isn't enough. Let's just double those numbers if you want a $2 million retirement. So I'm just looking at my screen here with some of the numbers. If you want to retire with $2 million, you've got to invest $347.42 a month from age 20 to age 30. So again, if you put about $350 away, you just automate that from your paycheck from age 20 to age 30 and you stop, you'll have a little over $40,000. And then that will grow to a $2 million retirement by age 65. This is the power of compound interest, and this is the power of starting early. Now, in a realistic scenario, you probably won't stop investing forever, but maybe at age 30 you want to do something drastic like I did, and you have some money saved up and you want to quit your job and travel around the country in RV. Maybe you want to just take a sabbatical and go overseas for a while. Maybe you want to take a different job. Whatever that is, you can stop investing and start putting your money toward other priorities, or you could just hit your foot on the gas and try to move toward early retirement to retire before age 65. So that's it. You really just need to invest $175 a month to have $1 million retirement, and you can just stop from age 20 to age 30. And then if you want to have $2 million retirement, it's a little closer to $350 a month. And then you can stop at age 30, never invest again, and still walk away with a multi-million-dollar portfolio by the time you're ready to retire. So let's say you're not 20 anymore, but maybe you're closer to 30 years old and you still want to hit that Coast Fire investment goal in your life. Well, you can do it by just intentionally investing for the next 10 years, and you can still hit Coast Fire by age 40. This is not out of the realm of possibility. And honestly, this is a very doable, probably very realistic scenario. So let's say you're 30, you're starting to make a little bit better money. You can invest a little bit more per month. Let's say you want to retire with that $1 million portfolio. All you got to do is put away $450 a month from age 30 to age 40 and then stop investing. That's it. Just stop investing at age 40 and it will grow for the next 25 years and still get you to that $1 million retirement portfolio. This is a little bit of a simple scenario because a lot of places have a 401k account with a match. And this is kind of what I did actually, is I put in just enough to get the match at my work. And let's say that's $300 a month, but they put in $150. They matched half of what I put in. Well, that's $450 right there. And if you just do that for 10 years and then stop and let it grow for the next 25, you'll still have $1 million. Now, you might think, again, that's not quite enough. How do I get to a $2 million retirement portfolio hitting Coast Fire by age 40? Just double the numbers. So if you can put in $900 per month for the next 10 years, then you can stop investing and that will turn into a $2 million portfolio by the time you're age 65. That is a bit of a higher number. And if you're age 30, hopefully you've got a little bit more earning power and you have the ability to put that money away. $900 a month could be just getting the 401k match at work and then maxing out a Roth IRA. It's that simple. Just those two accounts. Just get the match, whatever your company is going to match, and then put about $583 a month or $7,000 a year into a Roth IRA. And you have that $900 a month to put away. Let that grow for 10 years and then just stop investing. That gives you a 25-year runway for that money to grow into a $2 million portfolio. And for those of you that like to see the math, let's do this again. So you've got $0 invested. You're age 30. You have 10-year runway to get to age 40. You want to hit Coast Fire. So you put $900 a month away and you do it for the next 10 years until you're age 40. And you're getting the average stock market return. And by then, you'll have about $182,000 put away. If we take that $182,000 number, or it was like $181,900, and then we stop investing, $0 more, and then you let that go until regular retirement age at the same standard stock market return, boom, there's your $2 million retirement. So this is absolutely doable if you just focus, automate, and let your money grow for that first 10 years, right? Aggressively invest for 10 years, $900 a month, and then stop. From age 40 to age 65, you'll still have over $2 million to retire on. All right, if you're feeling late in the game, let's say you're in your mid-30s, you're 35 years old, and you're like, I want to hit Coast Fire, but I don't think I can do that in the next 5 years. How can I get there by age 50? Well, let's run the numbers. So if you're age 35 and you want to grow to $1 million portfolio by age 65, you can still hit Coast Fire in the next 15 years. All you got to do is invest $578 per month. That's it. That's basically maxing out a Roth IRA every year for the next 15 years. So from age 35 to age 50, just max out your Roth IRA, put $578 a month away, and then you can stop investing from age 50 to age 65. Your money will still have 15 years to grow and will still get you there. Again, some of you might be saying, I don't know about you, but the future doesn't look so great. I need 2 million bucks to retire plus Social Security. Great. To get to a $2 million retirement, let's just double those numbers. You need about 1155 a month. All right. So for you math nerds that want to see the actual numbers, how do we get to that $2 million retirement? I'm 35. I want to stop investing at age 50 and go live my life and enjoy and travel. Can I do that? Can I hit Coast Fire? So if you're starting at zero, and like I said, you might be feeling like you're late, don't worry about that. You've got time. You're going to put about $1,200 a month away, about $1,155 a month. Again, this could be a 401k with a better match, or putting a little more money in your 401k and then putting about $580 into your Roth IRA. So maybe you're putting $600 a month away in one, and about 580 a month away in the Roth IRA. You can still get to this 1155. Again, the key is to automate that stuff, let it just happen in the background. You're going to do it from age let's do 15 years here, age 35 to age 50, and you're going to get that average market return. So let's calculate where that's going to put you by age 50. So that puts you at nearly $500,000 at age 50. But if we just take this number and drop it up here, now you're 50 years old with to be honest, a pretty solid retirement. You're almost at a $500,000. And then you're going to stop investing. You're going to just ignore that. And for the next 15 years, from age 50 to age 65, you're just going to let your money grow in the background. Again, if you get that standard market return and we hit calculate here, boom, there's your $2 million retirement. So Coast Fire is possible and can happen even with just a little 10 to 15 year window of investing. And it's not crazy numbers. It's just putting money in the 401k and Roth IRA. So this is not out of the realm of possibility. To be honest, starting at age 35 and investing for 15 years to age 50, that's probably the most realistic scenario for most people watching. And if you want that $2 million retirement, yeah, you got to put away nearly $1,200 a month. So hopefully by age 35, you're well into your career and you're in a place where you can start to put that money away, or your job has a really good match on that 401k. So maybe you're putting away $900 a month between the two, but your company puts an extra 300 in. Whatever those numbers are for you, you got to find a way to put those numbers away. Once you have that, then you can let it grow from age 50 to age 65, and it can still get you across the finish line. And then you combine that $2 million retirement with Social Security income or any other income sources that you have, and that's not bad, to be honest. Now, if you are interested in, let me pull this up here, my Coast Fire calculator. So one, I put a little Coast Fire example cheat sheet in here based on what we talked about in this video. So again, if you're starting at age 30 and you want a $1 million retirement, it's about $173 a month. If you want a $2 million retirement, it's double that, about $350 a month. If you start at age 40 and you got start at age 30 and you have a 10-year runway to get to age 40, you're going to be putting away a little bit more, right? About $450 to $900 a month, depending on if you want a $1 or $2 million retirement. And if you're starting a bit later, starting at age 35, but you got a little bit of a runway to get to age 50, you're going to be putting nearly $600 to $1,200 a month away, depending on how much you want to end with. So I've also put together a Coast Fire calculator here, so you can start to look at your own exact numbers, right? I'll give you some examples, but here's where you can plug in your data, your exact age, the exact retirement number you have, the exact amount that you can put in per month, and then you can figure out how much you need to invest to get there. So here's how the calculator works. So again, let's say you're age 35 and you want to Coast Fire by age 50. You want to try to get there in the next 15 years. Now, let's say you have put just a little bit of money away in your 401k account over the years, and it's grown to about $25,000. Yay, you've got a little bit of money there. And let's say maybe you can't put the full $1,200 a month away, but you can put around a $900 a month away into the market. And again, you can adjust your investment returns here, whether you want to put, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%, whatever you want. I'm just taking the average market returns here at 10%, but put whatever you feel comfortable doing. And then you want to create a monthly budget. This is how I like to think about it. Now, thinking, I want $1 million or $2 million, that's great, but what does it mean for how much you can live on? It's broken down by month. So I like to think maybe my mortgage is going to be paid off. Or maybe I'm going to do a lot of travel, or maybe I'll have one of the adult kids will still be at home, or we want to give more, whatever that is, figure out what your budget and retirement is going to be. So for a $2 million retirement, you can live on about $6,667 per month if you're just solely going to live on your investments. So that's the number I just have in here for an example for a $2 million retirement. Again, your retirement is about 30 years away in the year 2055. So what this is saying is, if you're 35 and you have $25,000 currently invested and you're putting away $900 a month right now, you will get to Coast Fire by the year 2039. So in about 14 years from now. So this will actually get you to your goal. And I put a graph here so you can see when it crosses over. So right now, the green line is your current investments and the orange line is when you hit Coast Fire. And so if you kind of hover over the numbers here, you'll see the Coast Fire number is still a little bit higher than your investment number. And then eventually it crosses over and then you are now Coast Fire. And then if you stop investing, it will just follow this orange line. Now, if you keep investing the $900 a month, you'll retire with quite a bit more. As you can see here, by age 67, you would have $3 million instead of $2 million if you continued to invest for the rest of your career. But that's how this Coast Fire calculator works. You need to plug in your own numbers. Again, let's start with somebody that's age 30 and maybe they don't have anything invested. But you can put away about let's call it $675 a month, and you want a $2 million retirement, and retirement's about 35 years away. Great. Here's what it's saying. At $675 a month, you're age 30 and you're starting at zero. If you put $675 away per month by the year 2041, in about 16 years from now, you'll hit your Coast Fire number. And again, if you go down to the graph, it supports that. So by the time you're about age 45, 46, you will have enough invested that if you stop investing forever, it'll just follow this orange line, right? And by age 65, you will hit that $2 million goal. So there's a link below in the description. You can just sign up real quick and grab a copy of the Coast Fire calculator. I will send you a video with instructions on exactly how this whole thing works. I've also got the instructions built right in here. There's going to be the Coast Fire examples built in, but if you want to calculate your own Coast Fire for yourself, you can grab a copy below. So I hope this video is helpful. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I guarantee somebody's going to say 10% returns is not realistic, and I get it, but the data says otherwise. That's fine. Use your own numbers. But here's the thing. Coast Fire for me is about freedom. It's not about race to the finish line. Let's get as much money stacked as much as possible. Sacrifice everything so that I can retire 10 years earlier. It's let me make sure I know I have enough so that my future self will have food on the table until I die, right? Once I hit retirement age, I'm set. Then I can figure out if I want to turn it up a little bit and race there a little bit quicker, right? Maybe I don't want to retire at 65. Maybe I want to retire at 60. So then I just start to add a little bit more. Or maybe I don't stop investing once I coast, but I just invest a little bit less and I put some more money toward travel or taking some time off or, doing something different. That's the power of Coast Fire. And if you are really just kind of beginning and getting started on this investment journey and you want to get to Coast Fire or eventually early retirement, check out a video right here where I made a list of the 10 best investment apps for beginners so you can get started on your journey today.